Yeah, I like it. This is what I like.
Here we go.
I clap everyone, look. I can clap everyone. And I can thumbs up everyone. Oh, look, bless that Beverly. She's still in her car. Hello. I hope you've got out of your car since last week. How are you doing there? Nutty Boys posted there, thank you.
I just do drive-throughs all week, Chris. That keeps me going.
Yeah. Colours. I think I'm getting the hang of this thing. So I'd like to wave hello. No, you can't wave. You can just do a thumbs up and a flipping clapping. And what else can you do? Virtual background. Look. That's when I get asked a bad question.
How many were we expecting, Ian?
I think that's it, mate.
A million.
A million.
Yeah.
They must have got bored last week.
Cool.
We're good to go, mate.
Should we crack on?
That's everyone in.
Hello, everyone. And welcome to Chrissy Boy's COVID Cupboard Live, Part 2.
Hello, Sharon. Yeah. Yeah.
So, just for anyone who wasn't here last week, who's wondering how it works, once again, we've had a load of people send in some pre-written questions. So we're going to fire our way through them. And if you've got a question, I'm going to basically say your name. Ian's going to unmute you. You say your question. Chris answers your question, hopefully. All good. And then about halfway through, we're going to do the draw for the raffle for the Record Store Day edition of Night Boat to Cairo, when I'm going to hand it to John. And then in the second half this week, Chris, you're going to be talking us through Absolutely, I believe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Good. So, without
I think
further
the questions. Oh my God, there's questions coming in.
without further ado, Chrissy Boy, hello, how are you?
Hiya.
Hiya.
I'm all right, same shirt, same loft. Well, I just thought, I'd wear it again. Get some continuity going there.
Yeah. Have you had a good week? Have you been busy?
Been to supermarket. I haven't done a lot. I haven't done a lot, no, I haven't done a lot.
Fair enough. Well, let's dive straight in. And we'll start off with some questions on. We've kind of got more themed this week, so we'll start off with last year. We'll start off with the XL year that Madness had last year, and Adrian Beeforth is hopefully out there with us somewhere. Adrian, can you hear us?
So these people that are writing things. What can I do? Hi. No, I can't do anything.
I don't think he's heroing yet.
We can see you but can't hear anything, says Warren Frost. Oh, to everyone. Turn on your, what's his name? Speaker. Sorry, what was... what were we doing?
Basically the same as last week.
Yeah, has anyone asked anything yet? Or is everyone just...
plenty. Yeah, I got 6 pages of questions here.
Come on in, Owen.
Yeah. Well, number one moment is from Adrian Beeforth, who I'm not sure is here, but he says, what was your personal highlight of the special gigs that Madness did last year in terms of Kenwood, Clapham, the Electric Ballroom and the Roundhouse?
I mean, honestly, they were all really good. Kenwood one was a bit stressful because, it's being filmed and I was kind of like quite involved in that. I think Electric Ballroom one was really good. Was really enjoyable. Nice short set as well. And I mean, it's only I said, it's only $250 to get in, wasn't it? I think the booking fee was more.
Yeah.
So if anyone complains, give them their money back. But that was really good, really enjoyable.
Were you planning on doing another Clapham Common this year before everything happened?
No, we weren't. No. I mean, that's kind of gone its course, really.
We'll stay in with the theme of Kenwood. I'm hoping Steve Chapman is out there this week. Steve. Come in, Steve Chapman.
He's not here either, Owen. He's still driving.
This is going well, isn't it? This is going brilliantly so far. I'll just ask Steve's question for him as well. So Steve says, given the huge success and popularity of the Kenwood House gig, coupled with the 2 Mad Men and a string quartet set that Suggs and Mike performed this time last week, what are the chances of a Classical Madness album actually recorded alongside an orchestra? Is that something you'd be up for?
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about it, and because obviously, you know, we did that, you know, concert, you know, and we were trying to do, you know, technically, you know, it's quite a difficult thing to do. Obviously, you've got a live one, but you know, you can't really isolate everything, and ideally, yeah, you do it in a proper studio. But you know, why not? It's just money, really, is always the thing, and time, time and money, and opportunity, time, money, and opportunity.
It's just turned into the Spanish Inquisition.
Exactly. No one expects that. You can't say that anymore. It's racist. Ian's off.
Ian's off.
Didn't have a sandwich. Sorry, yeah.
But it's something you'd be keen to do if there was the time and the money and the, you know, if all the stars aligned, it's something you'd be up for.
Yeah. Because you know, like done like a lot of the, you know, groundwork. Stuff's all there. You know, one of the expensive things was getting the arrangements done. You know.
Did you? Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah, because we couldn't really do it. He was grown up.
Did you watch Mike and Suggs' set last week?
I saw some of it. Yeah.
What did you think?
Terrible. no, it's good. You know, I mean, there's a bit of like, not controversy. I don't know, because yeah, we were all up for doing it. But anyway, you know, it's good. It's good, and everybody liked it. They did a couple of new songs, which I'm always for. You know, doing something new. And yeah, I think it's good.
How far along are those new songs? Because for most of us, last week was the first time we ever heard of them. You know, they've never been.
Yeah, well, the Suggs one, you know, he sort of sent us a demo of it, you know. And Mike's one, I don't know if I ever heard it. That's how well we're communicating these days.
Yeah, we're finding out at the same time as you are. That's either something's going very well or something going very wrong. So Dinant, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name right. Dinant Donderman, who I don't think is here either, is he?
What is all these people? Is he sending questions in and they can't be bothered to flip in?
It's because it's sunny this week. It was pissing it down last week, so everyone was staying in. But, you know, nice weather.
Everyone was locked down and they couldn't get out.
Yeah. But Sam Murter is out there, I believe.
Yeah, me.
There you are, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, Sam.
Right, just one of the things I was wondering about is we've been to loads of concerts over the years, Chris, and there's loads of talking between the band that goes on stage. So what are you normally chunnering about?
Oh, to each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I try to make Suggs laugh sometimes, you know, or sometimes, you know, he can get a bit annoyed. I say something, you know. And one thing is the song House of Fun, I don't know if you know, it didn't have a chorus. And me and Suggs wrote the flipping chorus. You know, I went, I've got this, you know, we went to the studio to write a chorus. So I did this music and I went to get a bag of chips. And I came back, you know, and Suggs had done the lyrics. So we spliced it in. But, you know, good old bars, we didn't get credit for it. You know, we never... And so, yeah, during House of Fun, I'd often go and we wrote this, you know, just at the chorus, and he starts laughing. But, yeah, it would be, like, you know, something stupid. But, yeah, it's quite a laugh, you know.
Okay, just one other thing, Chris, as well. I presume you've met loads of different people over the years, loads of big stars.
Yeah.
Do you get starstruck yourself when you meet anyone?
I was kind of asked this last week, but I'm trying to think. Not really.
No.
Yeah,
right,
you know, I haven't met anyone like Tom Cruise yet. Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know.
All right, cheers, mate.
Thanks very much, Sam. Since I said that it's nice weather, everyone has just been messaging and said, no, it's shit weather here. It's shit weather here. So sorry to everyone where it's still shit weather.
In Durham's is dick up, but no change there.
It's always
In
shit
Durham,
weather.
oh, I get it. Is that what it's saying?
What?
I'm just reading some of these things. Show us a ladder. The ladder comes later. Can't show you. I'm getting confused. I've turned the camera around, so the ladder is there. That's where it is. There's the ladder, right? Yeah? Here's the button.
I wasn't expecting us to get onto the ladder quite so quickly.
Well, let's get it over with. Let's get the interesting things over with.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people are tuned in for, I think. There's 74 people here. Good 50 are here for the ladder.
Yeah, they'll be tuning out now. All right, my night is complete. I've got to start reading these things at the bottom. They're quite funny.
Is Hazel Simcock here?
Of course not.
Hazel, I'm being told you are here somewhere. You should be unmuted and ready to go.
Start waving. I like the look, Scurf.
Who was wondering, are there any plans to do something similar to the House of Fun in the future?
Yeah, it's a good question because, we're not doing it, after this year, allegedly. No, don't, I'm kidding there. And, it's like, I don't know, the management went, we've been doing it for 10 years. We sort of stopped, it's gone as far as it can go. So we haven't really thought of anything, no, because obviously it's got all those things, hasn't it? It's got wonderful accommodation, wonderful food, so it's great. It's great fun. But, trying to, you can't really, you could do a festival, couldn't we? Like Glastonbury or something. But it would be intense. But that'd be fun, wouldn't it? So I don't know, we haven't really, thought about it to any extent.
And is it true that Suggs has tequila in his orange juice on stage?
Crikey, yeah, I mean, you don't want to drink that, really.
No.
Sometimes tequila, and then he started drinking like vodka and orange, which is something we used to drink years ago. Hello, Lynn, darling. Yeah. So your Elvis room, it's better than mine, isn't it? Hello? Oh, sorry. What's going on? It's all gone quiet. Have I muted myself?
No, we were just checking you were finished.
Not enough.
Thank you.
Thanks, Hazel.
Cheers.
Nice T-shirt, Mr. Paul Rogers there.
On the subject of Hoff, then, talking about sort of this year being the last one, Beverly Kinsella has got a question similar. Beverly, pull over and unmute yourself.
Or done.
Handbrake on.
Hey, I've been driving in my car. Hi.
It's not quite a Jaguar at all.
No.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this again, Chris. Anyway, it's fantastic. Enjoying it. You have touched on it in the last question, but mine was going to be obviously all good things come to an end. So how did the decision come to end House of Fun? Because it's the highlight of, one of the highlights of.
I know. I mean.
And did you all agree on it, or was it something some of you didn't want?
The management said it, and we say, I think Woody was quite relieved. I said, Woody, I didn't know it's going to I didn't know with 10 years. He said, oh yes, a few years ago they said you've got 3 more years to go, and I was like, but he does enjoy it really. It's just the sort of, go in there and like you're there for a few days. I like it, as you all know. But I do usually clear off on Sunday. But yeah, I mean, we were told, so nobody said, oh no, please, let's keep doing it. Maybe Tomo did. But, do you know what I mean? No, everyone just thought, well, it's 10 years is quite a long time.
It is, and we're really grateful. The first one was exciting, and then when we knew it was going to be the following year, it was amazing, and then going on.
Yeah. Well, this year's one sold really well. So the managers were going, oh yeah, maybe we could.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that way we'd all love that news. I think it would brighten our lockdown.
Yeah. Well, look, let's just hope that we do it this year, eh?
We'll do. Keep fingers crossed. But if not, I'm sure you'll move it to next year, won't you? We won't miss out.
Oh yeah. We definitely we wouldn't,
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, John Young, showing all your blooming memorabilia.
I've actually got a poster here from this year, so it better happen, because if not, it's going to be worthless.
Oh look, the final curtain. Oh yeah. It's like oh, I see. That's what it was. Sorry, John. It's like Frank Sinatra, isn't it? He was always retiring, and he never did. All right.
We'll stick with Hoff because I think it's a lot. It's as Beverly hinted, it's keeping a lot of people going. I hope that we'll all be back together in November. And
Yeah.
So Sarah Hamlin, you had a House of Fun related question as well, I believe, and I think you're here.
I am. Hello.
Hello.
All right, Sarah.
Hi. You've really answered them already, actually, with
Okay.
the last questions. But will you and the band miss doing it if it doesn't carry on?
We miss doing it. I mean, it's sort of like sometimes it can be quite stressful. Like, the year before last, when we did all those songs like Werewolf of London, and we did all these songs that we liked, we kind of picked them. But, we should say some of them were somewhat unrehearsed, and then some of them were quite well rehearsed, but people didn't like them. But it's kind of, so we had a bit of a bad reaction to that. And then last year, I don't know if it was Jonathan Young or somebody suggested doing just singles. So of course everybody went nuts. And between me and you, personally, that's what I do for this last one. Just do that, not like here's our new album or anything like that. Go out on a high.
We'll miss it.
So yeah, is that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Sarah. That reminds me of a question, Chris. Do you have a favourite of the Friday nights about Linsdowne years? Obviously, there's been quite a mix.
Yeah, I like the Invaders and the Danger Men one. I think I come up with it. That's why. I just thought it would be quite good. I mean, it's funny, it's like apparently outside the Electric Ballroom, somebody said, "Ooh, you didn't play any old songs." You can't make it up, can you? Obviously, meaning didn't do baggy trousers and stuff,
People will never be happy.
I was very strict. I said, it's got to be, everything's got to be from 1979, And I mean, I don't know that people would notice, but our lighting guy is so good. He took all the lights out, and those lights in there were really old-fashioned ones,
Nice touch.
because they're really hot, those old-fashioned ones. The ones now, they're all like LED, and you can just, touch them, and they're not hot. Man, not hot.
It's not the same if it's not a fire risk, is it?
No.
Andrea Charles, are you out there? You've got a question about Madness playing live as well, which is sort of related-ish. Andrea. You're unmuted, Andrea. You're good to go.
Oh, sorry. Go on, Andrea. Go on.
Hiya, Chris.
All right.
Thank you very much for doing this.
It's all right.
I was just wondering, there was talk about you doing a cruise for your 40th anniversary, which never obviously came off. So I'm just wondering if that was ever going to be in the pipeline.
It's one of those things where the communication between the management and the band wasn't too good. Because, we suddenly found out there'd been a survey and, do you know what I mean? Would you want to spend £900 going on a cruise? So we weren't actually even asked about doing it. And the management, oh no, we were just sort of trying out this, to see, they should have said to us, what do you think of doing a cruise? Actually, I'd do it. But, it was like stupid money. And, it's not, it's just too much money.
Yeah.
So yes and no. We were kind of asked. Do you know what I mean? But not asked. No, you were all asked. And I think there was a resounding flipping no. Or, people got really annoyed. But, it wasn't us.
where would it be going? Where was the cruise going to go?
Well, that was one of the questions. Where would you like to go? Oh, Paul Rogers didn't like it. I think that was part of the. I don't know if any of you got this questionnaire, but it said, where would you like to go? Benidorm, or Caribbean. It's things like that. We could do it on one of those P&O ferries. How about that? Hey? Over to Calais and back like 20 times for a couple of days.
Just shuttling across the channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Thank you very much, Andrea. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to change subject slightly because we had loads of questions about your hair last week, Chris, and this week we've got a lot about your guitars, which I believe you've actually got one plugged in for us and ready to go now.
I don't know. I was trying to do it earlier, and it wasn't sort of working.
I was going to say, did you want to give us a bit of a riff to introduce the guitar questions? But
oh right, I see.
I don't feel you have to.
I can't multitask. Where's that bloody thing? Oh, sorry, excuse me. Oh, I see. Open recent. Oh, yeah. Some of them have got the guitar already kind of plugged in, as it were. But yeah, maybe you should just do the questions.
All right. Well, we'll do the questions and maybe we'll come back to the actual guitar itself later. Carl Overend is with us, I believe. Carl.
He's not with us. He's in the car with all the other people who aren't here, mate. I don't know where they are.
What are they doing? They're just all going on a jolly up, aren't they?
They're on a bus somewhere, mate. They're off to Durham.
Hey?
They're all on a cruise going backwards and forwards from here to France. Well, Carl says, have you kept all your guitars from day one? And if so, how many do you own by now?
Well, I was thinking about that. And it's quite sad. It's quite sad. Because about the first 3 guitars I had, the one I had that's in Take It or Leave It, which was some cheap guitar, I gave it to someone I went to school with, And I'd made this case saying the Invaders, And, I lost touch with him over the years. And then the last time I spoke to him, he didn't know where it was. So that was quite sad.
Oh.
And I also had this Vox, I had this Vox Les Paul. Again, kind of, split up with the first wife. And I think she gave it to a painter and someone, So there's that. And then the first sort of really good one I got just kind of vanished. So, I mean, as to how many I've got, it's not hundreds. It's not hundreds. It's like about 3 Stratocasters, 3 Telecasters, that's 6, someone can count. 2 Gretschys. How many is that? 8.
11-ish.
3 Les Pauls. This Epiphone thing. And that's about it. How many is that?
About 15, I think.
Yeah.
I'm testing my maths now.
Because I do like, when we did Finsbury Park, I bought a white Les Paul and it weighs a ton. And that was expensive, and it had old gold buttons and it's really knackered now. It was so heavy, literally so heavy that I had to retire it. But I've got most of them. And, and these days, I don't spend a fortune on them. But you can get a good guitar for, not too much money. And I often think, well, that's a nice colour, And that's how I buy them. I'm not really much of an expert, So, yeah, about 15 guitars. It's not a lot, is it, really?
That's not bad.
It's not a lot. I mean, we had this lock-up. And some other band had a lock-up. I don't know if it's Elvis Costello. And there's just hundreds of guitars in there. Hundreds of them. Still chucked in there. Anyway.
There was a guitar as well. I don't know if I should say this because I know there's someone on the call who's going to get really angry if I mention this. But there was a guitar you gave away to someone signed by all the band on Jim Will Fix It several years ago as well.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Apparently the person who you gave it to sold it on eBay after all the Jimmy Savile stuff came out. So it might still be
Oh,
out there.
they're probably, yeah. I mean, I know there was a girl on there, and you know, she might have been so upset. Hold on, I'm cool. Are you still there?
Still here.
Sorry, the screen sort of vanished. Oh, what's the old codger done now? Right, there we are. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, she might have been really, you know. How much did it go for, by the way?
I'm not sure. A couple £100, I think.
Not much, is it? Should have been thousands. But, you know, I mean, it's like some mate of mine's got a Rolf Harris painting, so, you know, what's he going to do with that?
Chuck it in Bristol Harbour.
I mean, it's like, yeah, we won't really touch on Savile, really, but, you know, I think a lot of people knew.
Mm.
A lot of people. Has anyone seen that interview with Johnny Lydon?
Yeah.
It was sort of banned, you know, and he's just exactly, you know, so he knew.
He says he'd like to kill him.
Yeah, you know, and yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Moving on from...
Rolf Harris.
Lovely chat. We're moving on completely from paedophiles.
Yeah.
There's no way I can like move on from this now, which doesn't make it sound like I'm making a link. Because sorry, Shannon, you're next, and you've got the like dubious pleasure of following Jimmy Savile. But Shannon McBride is out there.
Oh, she won't remember him. She's too young. Oh yeah.
There we go. We're safe then. Shannon, are you here?
Turn your mic on or turn her on. I can't hear you, Shannon.
Come in, Shannon.
Oh, sort it out.
Oh, she asked for me to ask the questions. I'm not sure what's happening with the mic.
She says her mic's broken.
Ah.
Yeah, don't give me that. Don't give me that, Shannon.
So we got two questions from Shannon. One is, what guitar do you wish that you owned that you don't? And do you have a favourite guitar solo that's not a Madness one? And which one and why?
Oh, yeah. Well, guitar that I wish I'd owned. I don't know, really. I suppose, like, you know, Les Paul Gold Top, you know, a really sort of proper one. But I mean, there's loads of Angus Young solos. I mean, there's loads of solos in there, really. But what is it? Is it Give In and Da Da Bonk? I mean, it is flipping bonkers. See if I can find it. Oh no, it won't be on there. Yeah, because it's sort of like, yeah, it's just a typical song. I think it's Giving the Dog a Bone, and it kind of, it's like a real classic middle eight. I'll see if I can find it. And it kind of just goes off in this direction, and he sort of, you know, cracks away, and you think, right, that's it. And then, blimey, you know, he really gives it something. Here we go.
Writing's not that easy.
Oh yeah. Hate YouTube adverts. Can everyone hear this?
Is grammatically correct.
Skip that. I won't play the whole thing, right? Come on. Get that smaller. But it goes on. Yeah, right. So it's been like, oops, oh bollocks. Bear with me. Oh, that's quite annoying. They're all good, aren't they? Really. I'm never going to find it now. Bear with me, my dear friends. Right. So he gets up to, you know, see, oh, you know. So, can you hear that? And it goes into this brilliant middle eight. Hold on, I think I've got the wrong bloody song. Now, what's the other one? Hold on. Just one more go. Sorry, everyone. Probably most of you lot don't even like AC/DC. I'll find it. Sorry, yeah. Anyway, yeah, probably any one of these or Chuck Berry, you know, that sort of stuff. There's no real favourite one, you know, really.
What was the first riff you ever learned to play on the guitar? Can you remember?
Oh, me. I was probably... Oh, yeah, I'm a Man, you know? Like, I had this album by Dr. Feelgood, of course, and I was on the Dole, and it's a live album, which is brilliant, you know, and that's just really easy. It's like and so on. Oh man! So that was one of the first things I learned to play.
Nice.
And I just played it for hours and hours.
So staying with the guitar theme, Alan Patrick, you're out there, I believe.
Yeah. Hello, Chris.
There he is. Perfect.
Excellent. Nice to meet you. Right, I'd just like to say that many years ago, I got into Madness in 1981, around the era of sort of Shut Up, and there was a guitar solo which you did, and that guitar solo inspired me to actually learn the guitar. So I'm now what's classed as a guitarist, so to speak. The first question I've got for you is, in the video Shut Up, you had a crazy silver guitar with some sort of carving. Whatever happened to it? Also, for people who maybe not have seen it, that's the guitar there.
Yeah, well,
what happened to it?
What happened to it was we were doing a video, and I said I wanted a guitar that looked like a gun, because I'd seen one in the shop, like a giant gun, and they turned up with that, and I'm just looking it up, and it belonged to the great Dave Hill from Slade, you know, and they'd got it from this shop, and it said Super Yob on it, you know, so I used it in the video, and it was in a shop in Birmingham or somewhere for like 300 quid, something like that, and it went back to the shop, and I sort of thought, I was a bit sad, you know, that he's had to sell his guitars, do you know what I mean? Till he's got it now, Marco Peroni from Adam and the Ants, he's one of those, me and him were good mates, you know.
Yeah.
And I always used to ring Marco up when I was going to buy a guitar. And in fact, when I bought that Les Paul, now was that him though, actually, or was it Mark Saxby? No, maybe I'm wrong there. Anyway, yeah, forget that. But I found a picture of Dave Hill with Super Yob, see?
Wow. Excellent.
But that was what it was, you know, it wasn't made for the video. I just turned up with it. Brilliant. And used it. So it was quite good because it said Super Yob. That was a Fishman.
That's the question that's been bugging me for years, and obviously now I've got the chance to ask you. Right, so I know somebody might have touched on it, but you've got several guitars, Fender Tellys, Strats, Gibsons. What is your go-to guitar? When you want to play something, which one comes off the wall?
It does change, you know, when we're playing live, because I've got these two Telecasters, and one of them has got these great big pickups in it, so it's almost like a sort of Les Paul. So I use that. I can't remember what colour it is. Sort of green, but I'm not very good on colours. I've been using that a lot lately because it's very easy to play, you know. But I've also got quite a good blue Les Paul, so sometimes I get that out. I try to rotate them a bit, you know.
Yes, the use out of it. So obviously on lockdown, I think someone asked you what you've been doing on lockdown. But talking on guitars,
oh, here we go. Look, it's going to show me up here.
I've actually built a guitar.
Oh,
I call it the Scarcaster.
That's very clever.
Yeah, it's all it's lovely. It still needs wiring up to be able to play, but I just sort of dedicated that to the Scar movement.
Well done.
I
you can finish any time.
Sorry, I could talk to you all day long. What's your favourite tipple when you go down the pub?
With me,
I
don't really go down the pub. You know, I mean, I used to have a bottle of salt beer or something boring like that. You know, really.
Yeah. Okie dokie. And the last question is, going back through years, lots of people have asked you stuff. I think someone the other day asked you what happened about a water at a concert or something like that, and you had no idea because you.
Oh yeah, the Tomo story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. So do people ask you stuff and you actually remember them through history? Because I came and saw you in was it Powerhouse in Islington when you were playing?
Yeah, with Lee. Yeah.
I turned up super duper early because I was excited to see you guys, and I walked in and you were at the bar having a bite to eat, and I walked up to my mate and said, "What time are you going on?" And you said, "What time do you want?"
What time? Yeah, whenever you turn up. That's the old.
You probably don't remember me.
Yeah, I remember it. No, I don't.
I don't blame you. Meet so many people. Anyway, that's all my questions.
All right, thanks, Alan.
It's been a privilege.
Thanks, the old thingy. I've got all these things, look. And thumbs up. Hey.
Thank you very much, Alan, and nice work on the guitar as well. Sticking with musical instruments then, Chris, we know what your favourite guitar is. Do you have a favourite bass guitar?
Well, should I ring up Bedders and we'll get Bedders on here?
Go on, why not?
If he's in. I was with him earlier.
This incredibly spontaneous and seamless link will really fall on his arse if he's not, won't it?
They probably won't answer it. Hello? They want to know about bass guitars. What's my favourite bass guitar? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So can you come on this thing and answer them? And then I can go to the toilet or something. No. I'm joking, I'm not going to. Yeah. So you should be with us shortly. It's probably Fender Precision Salmon Pink. That's what I think he's going to say. All right.
All right. Well, Fender Precision Salmon Pink. So yeah, Bedders will be joining us. Will be joining us shortly.
So if anyone wants to ask him anything, give me a break on it.
If you've got any burning questions for Bedders, pop them in the chat function. That was look at that! What spontaneous! Who could have predicted that?
What?
that Bedders would just be ready at the other end of the phone. We got a question. Carl Overend is back. His mic's working now. He's got a question for you, Chris. Just while we're waiting for Bedders.
Yeah, go on.
Carl, over to you. Second time lucky. It's not about guitars, but it's, Carl?
Gone again, mate.
Still in the flipping, what's his name, eh? Where's Windy? Windy, Tomo. Is that, who's just said that?
Tomo,
Simon Griffiths said, where's Windy?
Just to share with everyone, Tomo was going to be coming to last week's Chris's Cupboard, but he turned up an hour after it finished and tried to get into the meeting.
I told him. You can do Tomo's bloody treehouse, mate. Because, you know, on the website, I had Chrissy's Cupboard. Oh, I want Tomo's treehouse. Does he answer anything? Does he check? Hey?
It's because he never turns up on time. Let's, while we're waiting for Bedders, let's go through a couple of the miscellaneous questions we've got. Who have we got? Matt Holt, are you with us? Just reading off my list. And hopefully everyone's that I read the names out of is actually here. Matt
I can
Holt.
hear you. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, Chris. Mine's kind of a little bit about comedy, really. I know your dad is a really good, big aficionado on music hall. I just wondered whether there's any particular music hall act or song that you think's influenced you, maybe in the earlier days, in some of your songwriting or in some of the videos or the album.
Yeah, not really songs, but it's funny. Like yesterday, I was looking up musical songs. Funny enough, but no, not really. You know, I'm not that old. You know, although you know he was involved with his theatre. And they used to put on musical shows, and there's a song called "The Night I Appeared as Macbeth," and it's hilarious. Suggs really likes it. Is that a Playboy book on your shelf? No. No. Hold on. Flipping away. It's Playboy, a game of elegant lifestyles. One of my ex-wives got it for me. I don't think I've ever played it. Should we play it? While we're waiting for Dennis?
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm glad I've joined this. I'm glad I've joined this Playboy channel, whatever it might be.
Dennis gave you this. Dennis gave it.
Bedders, welcome to Babe Station with Chris Foreman. I'm glad you could join us.
It's not the first time he's tried something like this.
How are you doing? Nice to see you.
I'm all right. Yeah, good. Yeah, very well. Thank you.
Good. So basically, it's a bit of a free-for-all, but we got questions that people have asked in advance, so we're just sort of working our way through them. So I'll sort of shuttle between you and Chris, really, and you can both answer if you like. If he's not too distracted by whatever the hell he's got.
Oh, there's just one thing. There's all these sort of cards. And a meeting card, you know, this is how to pick up girls. Excuse me, do they tow around here? My sports car is double parked. That's how I get girls. Sorry, carry on.
Have you ever tried that?
No.
Next
my Tesla needs
not
charging.
Successfully, anyway.
So
yeah.
my Tesla needs charging. Go on, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, I can't.
Am I still on or am I off?
Who said that?
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, sorry, Matt.
Matt, I don't
ask me about musical songs.
That's right. I thought I was getting involved in a very serious musical discussion.
Ukulele chat. All right, get that away. Cut him off.
Have we cut him off? I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Carl Overend is apparently back with us again. Carl, we'll come to you. Yeah.
Hey, you got me?
Third time lucky.
Are we there?
Over to you, Carl.
Thank you. Are we sorted?
We're sorted. Yeah, we can hear you.
Right. Basically, all it was the Hastings poster and the A-side, B-side, or B-side to the A-side album. Did you have any input on the images all put together?
No, I mean, that guy usually does them, and then you go, oh, I don't like that head. Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Just spot on them.
Yeah, no, he is. Yeah, he's a very good illustrator, actually.
Yeah,
Paul, he does very good artwork, yeah.
Yeah, they're spot on, them ones. I think they're probably more iconic than the earlier stuff. Everyone's sort of chasing around for them sort of bits because it's so off the wall, if you like. So random.
Are you talking about when we did a gig on Hastings Pier? Is that what you're talking about?
The poster, and then you did to be beside the A side, the album, and the Near Enough did the same again for that album. You know what I mean? And it just blew us all away with the comedy sort of element of it all. How it was all just devised, if you like. And that's why I was wondering if you had input in that, or was it just, oh, this is what I'm the female on there, am I?
No, I mean, I think it's funny with a lot of that artwork because we come up with a vague sort of concept, sort of vague idea, and then he'll try some artwork, and then we'll just take it from there really and see if we can develop it a bit. But funnily enough, that Hastings Pier is pretty much shut now, so we opened it and closed it more or less at the same time.
There wasn't anything on it. There wasn't anything on it, you know.
Well, no, they because I have a friend who lives in St Leonard's, which is just literally up the seafront, and he was saying that they had real trouble with it, and it doesn't really. It's open, but there's nothing on it. It doesn't function very well, unfortunately.
So, what was the purpose of it originally? Just to, to open it? Was it initially to open up as a venue again?
The purpose was it was a very big election bribe, and the allegedly the MP, the sitting MP, got the money together and got voted back in.
Oh, okay.
But then I think, this is not, and I keep saying allegedly because I don't know this for sure. But then there was they tried to sell it off, and they didn't really tell anyone that they were going to do it. I think, or ask anyone. But anyway, I don't know.
It's a bit iffy. We got bunged a few grand. We went and played there. Who cares? I live in Brighton. We got the best pier in the world.
Anyway, yeah. No, it's all local Hastings hearsay. So.
Oh well, they should have come to the Cleethorpes one. We've still got ours. So You should have had it on ours then. That would have been even better. It's only around the corner from me then. But no, I just love the image. I think a lot of us have all said in the past like that them posters and that album sort of was just, you know, something left field, if you like, of what you normally would have done. And I just, I like all them caricature type things, and it was pretty spot on.
Yeah, he's I think the first thing he did, was Clapham Common. He did a poster for Clapham Common. You know, and we really liked it, and we've been using him ever since for a lot of stuff.
But I ain't got the Clapham one, but I have got the Hastings one, which, you know, pretty nifty. Thank you very much, guys.
Hey, Domingo.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, right.
Thanks for sticking with us, Carl. Do you think you say there's nothing on Hastings Pier now? Do you think they were expecting you to just stay there? Do you think they were just kind of hoping you?
No, we'll come back every week.
Yeah, no, I think they were hoping for a residency.
Yeah.
A summer season on the pier, maybe. But no, I don't know. I mean, this is all. I think there are things on it, and I think they tried things like having a farmer's market on it on a Sunday and stuff like that. I only know this because a friend of mine lives down there, and he's been telling me about it all. But yeah, I think there was some I think there was the way they sold it off was it didn't go down well with the locals. Let's put it that way.
Staying on the theme of artwork and posters and things like that, then we got a question from Mark Bowen.
Hey guys, right? How are you? My question, you all right? Yeah, my question is, what's your favourite Madness single or album cover or sleeve design?
It's hard. I quite like the last album cover, but I always go, people go, what's your favourite this? I always go back to that first album, because that was a really good cover and the stuff inside. I don't know. What do you think, Bess? How are you?
On the early ones, I like Grey Day.
Yeah.
That was good. Ian Wright, not the footballer, Ian Wright, the illustrator, did that. And we've worked with him again recently, which has been really good. That's a good one. I think that's one of my favourites.
Is that the same guy that did the Past, Present, Future?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I mean, we've known him since, obviously, those times. We've known him for years and years and years. And it just seemed right again to, work with him again for that anniversary.
I think the Grey Day thing, I think he'd already done it. He'd already done that picture.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if someone said, can we use it for a single bag?
Cool.
Yeah. He also did he did a little bit to Mad Not Mad as well.
Oh, funny you should say that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking through Chrissy's loft.
Aha.
And look, sides.
Nice.
Yeah, because the photo's by Anton Corbin, and
he did the little
gold. Yeah, he put the gold stuff
on that. He did that.
Yeah.
And this thing on the back, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, I was given these in like 1980, whatever. Can you sign these?
I've never given.
And I've got about 8 signed ones. There's no recording. Oh, when I was at school, I used to do this. Did you ever do that?
Oh my word!
Funny enough, though, he did to carry on with Ian Wright. He did all the billboards.
All right.
And he made them all on a photocopier.
Wow.
So they're all the artwork. A lot of the artwork.
It's all like bits. Looks like
it's all bits of torn paper and all re-photocopied and photocopied again and torn and placed. So because we wanted to make for the billboards, we wanted to make artwork how we used to make it in 1979. A lot of it was done on photocopiers. So
proper retro style.
Do
you still have a photocopier? Random question.
It's a scanner these days.
He does though. Ian Wright still does have a photocopier. Funny enough.
I bet it blooming works and works and works. Doesn't.
Yeah, it's really good. It's one of those big industrial ones, so he can do all sorts of stuff on it.
Do you have a? Someone's asked this, and I can't remember who it was, so I'll just ask you for them, Mark. But on the subject of technology in the home, do you have a magic ladder?
A magic ladder?
Like mine. Bedders.
Oh, you mean you're in your bunker when you get at the top of the house? If you,
I wasn't in a bunker. I wasn't in a bunker.
You were looking at the. You went to look at the bunker.
That bunker.
No, I don't have a magic. I have some stairs though, quite like most people. You know.
I suppose that's.
It comes in handy when you've got like floors above the ground. I don't know if you. It was one of those Viz top tips, isn't it? I find that a set of stairs is a very handy way to get between floors of a house.
But like, have you got a loft, Bedders?
No.
All right. Yeah,
I'm hoping. I mean, I'm aspiring to have one. You know.
Sorry.
Mark Charlesworth is out there. Mark, you've got a question as well. Sort of. I was going to say sticking with a theme, but we've digressed slightly.
So, thumbs up if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Mm.
Hi guys. Yeah, it was just going on singles back in the day. Was it a case of management saying, right, we're going to use this picture of the band to promote the band, or was it a case of you getting together and saying, "Oh, we'll do like Sun in the Rain, for example, use the painting"?
Yeah, I mean that was Mike's idea. He wanted to use painting, and then of course he got it's the wrong painting. But it's too late. Some of them, like embarrassment. We were all. I don't know. That was Dave Robinson. We did a photo session, and it's supposed to be like we're telling each other something embarrassing. Oh, it's a bit crap. But yeah, I know. Got Humphrey Ocean to do baggy trousers.
Yeah.
We sort of commissioned him to do that because we really liked his stuff. But yeah, I mean they're all a bit. It's usually if the record company's any good, like Stiff had a good art department, so they'd often come up with stuff.
Okay, that was it. Cheers.
Thanks very much, Mark. Humphrey Ocean, am I correct in thinking he was Ian Geary's bassist for a while? What is it about, why are bass players always the artistic ones, Bedders? Any insight into that? Why is there a natural...
We're the quiet, creative driving force behind so many things. No, I mean, I think Humphrey Ocean was his mate from art college, yeah. And when Ian taught at... when he was at the Royal College, but I think he taught in Canterbury, and I don't know if he met Humphrey there in Canterbury or not. I can't remember, but yeah. But then he got him, to play the... come and play the bass, and Humphrey came on tour with us, didn't he, Chris? Do you remember?
Yeah.
And he just came along for the ride, Humphrey. And he I think the evening he used to sometimes he'd come on stage in a white suit and dance, wouldn't he? At one point.
I think once he sort of like streaked across the stage, he was flipping. He still is. I heard him on the radio. I mean, I don't know if anyone could see this, but it's a 10cc album called The Original Soundtrack, and it's a pencil drawing, which he did. And I remember, we loved that drawing, and that's kind of how, I think that's kind of how we got him to do it, because of that, remembering that. Leo Clayton. Oh, Paul Rogers is flipping on the ball at University of Kent. Sorry, I just...
It's all right. On the subject of people streaking and stuff, it's reminded me of this question from Lillian Beamish, who I hope is out there. Lillian. Just scrolling through the screen.
They're all just sending their things in, aren't they, and then going and watching telly, really. And like, think, I mean, suppose I did that, I think I told you, Chris, my answers in.
You showed the ladder off too early.
I know, I peaked. I can show you my New York Dolls album that's signed by Johnny Thunders, which I just found.
Just show us in a minute, because Lillian is here. I've just found her. Lillian, over to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Audio is like cut out, so I can't hear what you guys are saying.
What's that?
Can you?
I think she said her audio's cut out, so she can't hear what we're saying.
I can hear her.
I've got no way of knowing if that's what she said or not, because she can't hear me say that. Lillian, do you want to read your question and hopefully...
These boomers, you know.
I've no idea how to actually communicate that with her. Should we come back to you, Lillian?
Asking for her, Owen.
Okay, so well, you guys can hear me, so
yeah,
I guess just continue. But, I want to ask what was like the mad thing that happened, like that someone did in the audience, and that you guys off them on stage because people dressed up and like go crazy, which is fun.
Oh, what was that?
I didn't quite catch it.
I leave that to Bears.
Someone coming up on stage and
what was the maddest thing that someone in the audience has done at a gig? I think was the question.
Was it Lillian?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, shit, me knows. I mean, we discussed it last week. Somebody coming up and saying somebody was getting married and the wrong person came up on stage. But I remember being in Germany back in the day, you know, and we're doing this show and it's all going really good. And this guy come out, you know, with a big hat, you know, they love it, don't they? You know, typical German. He grabs a microphone, you know. I was trying to grabs a microphone, you know, and he starts talking. He stopped the whole show, and I thought it must be something serious. So I said to one of the German crew, "What's he saying?" And he's literally saying, "The person with the full cortina, you've left your lights on," you know. And I threw him off, got his hat, flipping off he went. He was only about orders, of course. But
we had the shop steward from the Fiat car workers in Turin, didn't we?
Yeah.
They were on. The Fiat car workers were on strike, and we had the union guy come on and make a speech beforehand. That was quite memorable. Didn't we have the? We got introduced by the mayor of Reykjavik, didn't we? At one point, I think. Who looked like Nigel Lawson. He didn't go down too. He wasn't too popular, unfortunately.
We've had a few. I mean, do you remember when we played in New York in the World, in that place called the World, and this is mad club? And this guy was, "I'm going to go and introduce you," you know, and he looked like you know, great. He was like a nutter, and he came out and he was just going on and on and on, you know. And we dragged him off. And the punchline is, many years later, I was at the WAG club, and he was outside trying to get in, and he was going, "I own the world." The club was the World, you know. So don't let him in.
Who was he though then?
Just some. I mean, if you probably go and Google him, he's probably some multi-millionaire now.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. So, anyway, yeah, carry on.
While you look that up, we've got a question from Rob Wardlaw, who hopefully is with us.
Yes, I'm here.
Over to you, Rob.
Hi. Hi, Chris. Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
All right.
My question is, obviously, it's quite topical, all these riots and stuff going on. As we all know, going to a Madness gigs are a really brilliant experience for us all. And it's just like one big party from start to finish, and it always is for us. My question is, going back, if you can remember the infamous gig at Ingleton Exhibition Centre, 1992. I was there. It was a very scary experience when the Hibs and Motherwell Casuals decided to use the event for a big fight riot. What's your memories of that night? And have you ever experienced anything else like that, bearing in mind all the stories about extremists and racists and everything hijacking your early gigs?
I mean, there was that one at Hatfield, you know, where people got, you know, bad injuries. But I remember the one you were talking about. And
yeah,
the police came and they stopped the show.
Yes.
And then we wanted to carry on, and they said, "You can carry on, but you've got to have all the lights on."
Lights on, yes.
And I know on that tour, I'd got this thing built for Tomo, like a boxing ring with a rope in.
Yeah.
You know, and it said they wanted to say Super Tomo Land, but the bloke that wrote it said Super Homo Land, you know. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like they didn't quite get this. Anyway, I just got this vision of us playing, and then Tomo on this rope, swinging on this rope, and it's just chaos and stuff going on. I found that AC/DC song, by the way.
All right.
Should I play it to everyone?
Yeah.
It's the best solo ever. Hold on.
While he's getting that together, I remember being barricaded in the dressing room.
And
hard to read.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally had to sort of, kind of lock ourselves into the dressing room when it was all kicking off.
Yeah, it was. It was a really scary experience. You had to try and stand up and also keep people off you with the squash.
Yeah, no, it was amazing. It was just completely out of control. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a denim jacket on, and a girl took a hold of my denim jacket, and she said, "Is it okay?" And I went, "Yeah, of course it is." And next thing, she went down, and we had to push the crowd apart and get her up and lift her over. It was
that was incredible. I mean, that was just such a mad thing.
I know, and you never came back to Scotland for 10 years.
It's not a surprise, is it, really?
No.
Anyway, I was asked what was the best guitar solo.
Oh, here we go.
This is one of them. Now, what it does in a minute, it totally goes in the other direction. Oh, come on. Where's that solo?
When is the solo? Yeah.
Right. Here we go. It goes totally in the other direction. Here we go. This bit. Yeah.
Good.
He does try and get that solo into nearly every song we write. Or,
You think here, look, you think it's done. And then oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Sorry everyone.
I was going to say I won't play any bass solos because that would really clear the room completely.
It's just the way he's sort of doing that, you think, oh, that's it, and then he just comes in with that other bit. Anyway, sorry.
Just one more question before we move on from Riots. It's been pointed out to me it was about 13 years ago this week that you played in Greece. When it all kicked off over there. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was another one of the great catalogue of violent gigs. Yeah.
Talk us through it.
Well, it was in Athens. It was sort of in a sports. It was a piece of kind of land next to in a sports ground, and they put a stage at one end, and I went out. I can't remember who was playing, Chris. Was it
Beastie Boys?
The Beastie Boys, yeah. So we all went out. We kind of went out and to watch the Beastie Boys play, and then one of the guys that works with us, Jim, said, "You better get back to the dressing room. It's on fire." So we got back to the dressing room, and it was literally on fire, the whole thing. And as I ran in to try and grab a bag and grab various bits and pieces from the dressing room, there were these guys with masks, completely covered, holding all sorts of stuff, all sorts of iron bars and various baseball bats and things. And I ran in and shouted the classic thing, "I'm with the band," and I managed to grab my stuff. And it was very, very scary because they completely went wild. They looted everything. This group, we never found out, actually, did we, Chris, who they represented, what they did? Yeah.
I think it was like it was sponsored by Heineken. It's some kind of anti, do you know what I mean, establishment thing, or they thought the tickets were too high. Yeah, I remember being in the dressing room. They were outside. Yeah, and they sort of said, get out. But I mean, I was horrendously drunk, so I wasn't that worried. But I looked, and Chaz was a bit, and I thought if Chaz is flipping a bit worried, it's bad, because he's pretty tough.
I mean, I don't know. Suggs always tells the apocryphal story. I don't know if it's true or not.
And his daughters. Yeah,
his daughters were there, and they managed to commandeer a van to get out of there.
Yeah,
and it was with the Beastie Boys accountant was in the same van with all the takings of the European tour.
Yeah,
two kind of briefcases. Absolutely, totally scared because he didn't want to lose the tour takings at that point.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, we were told that the security guard had died, and I got really upset. And I was like trying to, I was going to send in my family, and then I never did. It kind of fizzled out. It was all a bit bizarre. I sort of got in touch with this guy and these people. So I don't know. I don't think anyone did die.
No, it was quite. I mean, we all made our own way, kind of back to the hotel we were staying in. I think it was me and can't remember, a couple of people. We flagged down a car and said, "Can you take us back into?" We were quite in the middle of town. Yeah, can you take us back? And he did. And one by one, they're just all the stragglers, didn't they? Started coming back through the hotel lobby. And we all kind of finally made it and made it back with gear and all our sort of gear and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty. That's something you don't want to see every day. Is the dressing room on fire? I must admit.
And you still got no idea why they did it?
No, we couldn't. We tried to find out, obviously, because Chris said we were very concerned that quite a few people got injured, and they couldn't tell us if they were anti-communist, anti-fascist, we think they were just anti-government, and but then they had some other thing where I think they kind of robbed, and they were robbing stuff and as well.
Oh yeah,
it's all very, very kind of mixed up.
Because we, Underworld were on, and the singer got hit with a brick. I think he's still like a bit traumatized, but they had all their passports nicked and stuff like that.
I heard it was because of unhappiness over the sale of Hastings Pier.
I think it was an election move by the Athens government, to try and secure Hastings Pier, possibly.
It's like when they flew London Bridge to Arizona.
Exactly.
Hastings Pier to Athens.
It's the wrong one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Moving on then. We've got a question from Derek Dawson, who is hopefully out there with us. I'm getting the thumbs up from the producer. Derek, are you out there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Over to
I'm
you.
here, guys.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Great fun for the fans. Just a quick question. Madness back in the day or Madness now, are they comparable, and is it better second time round? No pressure, like.
Me, I mean, obviously, we're a lot older, but it's very different. Like, it always seemed to me in the 80s, we were on tour for all the time, but we never used to seem to make any money from touring. It was all from record sales, And now it's the other way around. We weren't doing arenas then. We used to go and do like a week at the Hammersmith Odeon, because the idea of doing Wembley was, wasn't for us. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
No, it's a good question. It's that thing of, like they do with footballers, how do you compare one team, like from the 60s or 70s to one team from now? I mean, it's different. We have more technology. We use more technology now because we can. I mean, in the old days, we had, you just went through whatever PA you had, and the PAs weren't as good, and I don't think we played as well. I think we play a lot better now. And, but we use more kind of unashamedly use the technology that's available. So I think it creates a better sound generally. And I think you hear things much better. I think some of the gigs were probably quite, I would imagine at the end of the 70s, early 80s, some of the gigs
wait, Dicker.
were really,
I'm watching all of you.
He is. He's got his beady eye on everyone. Yeah. So no, it's a good question because yeah, but I think it's better now. I think you get a better experience now live. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about this nowadays, back 30 plus years ago, to get this sort of intimacy with the band themselves, yeah, you just don't get that, you know, which is brilliant. But again, it's good that you guys are still being creative. You're still current, you're still creative, you're still writing.
Well, that's the main thing, yeah, is to try and keep going and try and be good at it.
Keep doing it.
Someone said, Sax has got an auto cue. He still forgets the words. It's just part of the act. It's just part of the act.
It's just part of the act. Don't worry about it.
It's like my dad used to say, used to go to the circus and there'd be someone doing a tightrope thing and they'd fall off and stuff. And he'd go, they're just doing it to make it look hard, to make it look hard.
We just do. We do make it look very hard sometimes, I can tell you that.
That's funny.
On the subject, on a similar sort of note, we got a question from Vicky Lee that I'm keen to hear the answer to. Vicky Lee, whose microphone wasn't working last week, but hopefully is this week. Vicky. And having said that,
we have nothing.
She's actually watching the Take That one on another channel.
Are they doing one?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yay! Hi everyone. I can't remember what my question was.
Right. See you next week.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
No. Do you think if you were to start out as a band now of young ragamuffins that you'd make it now as a band? Do you think you'd be as successful?
That's another good question. But it's that thing of comparing different times. It's totally different now these days. The way that you get into the music business, I think, and the way when we started, it was all about someone coming to see you play live, and if they liked you, then they might say, "Do you want to record some songs?" Now, I think people come through in completely different routes. Sometimes not even playing live, making stuff at home. Which is great that people have the ability to do that, but it's just a completely different way. You hope, I think all musicians hope that if the songs are good, then you'll be, that you can kind of have a career and also get your songs out to a lot of people, I think.
You two in particular are really good at the social media aspect of the band, which a lot of bands and musicians do now. So I think you'd win on that side of things as a duo.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, it's Top of the Pops was the big show, and it's incredible, really, that our first single was number 60, and we got on it. Do you know what I mean? Like a few years later, you'd have to be a lot higher to get on there. So we were very, lucky, really.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Vicky. Right, just to let everyone know what's happening now. So we've sort of hit the halfway point-ish. We're going to do the prize draw for everyone who's donated money to help keep the Dublin Castle going lockdown. To win the Record Store Day edition of Nightboat to Cairo. So I'm going to hand over to John to do that. And then when we come back, we are going to be doing a track by track with Absolutely. And Bedders, I hope you'll be able to join us for that and stick around. Lovely stuff. So don't go anywhere. Well, don't go anywhere. John, over to you. Where can you go?
Thank you very much, Owen, and thank you both to you and Ian for doing all this as well. It's made it possible, So I'm sure everyone has seen online. There's a link for the Dublin Castle if you care about that pub, the pub where it started for Madness back in the day, one of their venues where it all began. We've all been donating about the price of a pint because we can't be in there at the moment to their ongoing costs during their lockdown and shutdown. So that link's still available to people. We've kindly been given a copy of the Record Store Day 40th anniversary Nightboat to Cairo EP, which is available publicly on August the 29th now. And 50 of you have kindly donated some money for the castle, and your names are in this fez. So one of you will now win this prize. I won't look. And the winner is, I don't know if they're on, it's Colin Reynolds. I don't think he's on here today, but Colin Reynolds will get that record. Thank you very much. Back to Owen. Or has he gone for a quick break?
No, he's still there. I can see him.
There we go.
I love the way everyone silently applauded there.
It's very,
right, hold on.
Very polite. Thanks very much, John. Well done, Colin. Do we know how much money we made for that, John?
I know that overall, I mean, all of the Madness communities have been raising money. You know, not just us. And overall, I think we've given about £8,000 so far.
Bloody good job. Good job. Right, thank you very much, everyone. It's time for a track by track of Absolutely, which there was supposed to be a little bit of. Hang on, there we go. Technology, yeah.
That's Baggy Trousers.
So I don't really know how this is going to work. I guess it's up to you two to decide. But we were hoping you just sort of talk us through the album track by track and tell us, yeah, whatever you want to tell us about each song as we go, really.
All right. Well, I mean, I can maybe talk a little bit about how we came to it. We had made One Step Beyond, and we signed to Stiff. We'd made that record, and most of the songs on One Step Beyond, we've been playing live, and so it was quite easy to go into the studio and literally almost recreate what we did live, and that's how you got One Step Beyond. But then, because we were now signed to a record label, we had to write Absolutely from scratch in a very, very short space of time. I think the album only took about 4 weeks to make. It was really quick. And I think we only had, if you can remember, Chris, we didn't rehearse very long, did we? It's probably another 2 or 3 weeks rehearsals to get the songs going. And
I mean, I remember going to that place in Earls Court. I think it's called Nomis. It was Simon Napier Bell's. Nomis is Simon's book. But anyway, I remember we had a big backboard, and we were writing stuff on black, and it was quite, rehearsal studios aren't that nice, really. It's just this sort of dark room. But I think some of them that we had written before we went in there, because we played them live.
Yeah.
I think Embarrassment. I'm looking at the list now. I'm sure there's a couple. I can't really remember. I mean, if we
were talking about You Said, weren't we?
Yeah, that was done when we did One Step Beyond.
Yeah, that had been written already, and it was left. It didn't make it onto One Step Beyond, and then I think we might have changed the rhythm of it a little bit, and then that became the song that you hear.
And maybe even that Overdone. No, not Overdone. In the Rain. That seemed to be another one that. Do you know what I mean? I seem to remember recording that somewhere else, if you know what I mean.
That was done at Basing Street.
Yeah.
In West London, and that was in the middle. That was like in between the two albums, In the Rain, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, if we go through it track by track,
yeah,
it's so top loaders, as they call it. It starts with Baggy Trousers, which I'd never written a single. I'd only written 3 or 4 songs, so I'm very pleased, And that, that's definitely, I came in, and I sort of wanted it to be like the Faces, because what is it? So, it wasn't like that, it wasn't ska. Well, that's a bit crap, isn't it? But it was like that, and then we just put the old ska button on, and Suggs came up with those lyrics. And, I remember sort of just thinking in the middle 8, and I never thought it'd be a single. I just thought it hasn't got chorus. Because in a way it hasn't, has it? It's got that, oh, what fun we had. I suppose that's the chorus. Mike did that brilliant mouth organ on it. And so it came out, and I got your first pressing, you know, and it said Barson, McPherson, Foreman. I was like, you know, Barson, he's done me again, you know, after Bed and Breakfast Man. And Suggs went, oh, yeah, well, they asked me, and I thought, I'm like, Suggs? I got it changed, don't worry. And Barson never got a penny, not one penny.
I think he wrote the lyrics at Lee's house, didn't he? I think in Caledonian Road, supposedly.
Yeah.
And he wrote them quite quickly as well. He said, I think.
Yeah.
And it's the thing, isn't it? It was the thing. It was the antidote to another brick. Another brick in the wall.
Because you know, kids are terrible to teachers.
But one thing I noticed only recently was that there's that tune Hootsman.
Yeah. Because actually, yes.
Well, what does it sound like? Yeah. What does the intro to Baggy Trousers sound like? And I thought, hold on a minute.
All right, come on, Lord Rockingham 11. You can't go flipping wrong with that. But no, you're right. And I remember when Suggs, because if Suggs said, "Let's start it," you know. But you know,
what can you say? It turned out all right.
Here we go. Oh, bloody Poxy YouTube
streaming only on YouTube.
Poxy adverts. That's what we should have done, isn't it?
That's the beat. That's the beat. We should have done it. Yeah.
Oh, everyone's going to hate us now. I think we've copied Lord Rockingham.
No. I think it was was it homage?
Yeah, homage.
Homage.
A homage to Hootsman.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's all right. So next up, obviously.
Yeah, embarrassment, isn't it?
Embarrassment. I did read somewhere that a study had shown that if you could listen to that without tapping your foot, you were proven dead. Once.
Yeah, doctors use that test. Actually, I don't know if you know that they do actually in A&E occasionally.
Hey, what? Oh, do they?
They do. Yeah. You know because they used to bang your knee with a mallet, obviously.
Yeah.
But now if you don't react to it, then you're brain dead clinically.
In fact, you know what?
Yeah, and while Chris is trawling through YouTube, no, this was it's a fantastic lyric by Lee, and we just tried to give it a big Motown backbeat. That was the idea.
Yeah, because I think like with a skill that Mike's got, he's if he gets some lyrics, he can think of a tune. But actually, it's sort of a bit like who can name that song? Maxine Nightingale, Get Right Back. He's like ding, 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 ding. Anyway.
We're giving away all our secret influences.
Well, moving on.
We're talking of influences, because it sort of goes both ways, because I did read that Paul Weller was sort of inspired by that to write That's Entertainment. I think hardcore Jam fans I know will correct me on that, but is that something?
I always think That's Entertainment is more like My Sweet Lord or...
Sorry, Town Called Malice, that's what I mean.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, that makes more sense now I think of it.
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, because Paul Weller, my best mate, as you know from last week.
Your new best mate.
We were recording and he was in there, and he went, "Oh, I've done this song, it's a bit like Embarrassment." Yeah, and it was A Town Called Malice. But it's not really like Embarrassment, is it, at all?
It's just using that Motown, the kind of Motown rhythms.
That's great, that song. We can go through the Jam album if you want.
We can do that next week. We'll get Paul on with you as well.
Yeah.
We've all got his number since last week. You gave it to us.
But I hope it didn't show. You know, Shannon told me it showed. Did it or didn't it?
Well, it's small enough on my screen that I wouldn't have seen it, but...
Yeah.
If he starts getting a lot of angry calls, we'll know it's.
We'll know who to blame. Yeah.
So that's obviously embarrassments about Lee's sister.
Yeah.
How sort of aware, particularly with Lee, I guess, because he can be quite obtuse, I guess, the way he writes. How aware of sort of his subjects are you when you kind of cover songs?
I think with that, kind of like sussed it out, you know. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. With Madness, it was like that's quite a serious subject, you know, about her family didn't want to know her. But, you know, we weren't going, you know, just because you're a black man. You know, it wasn't so obvious what it was about. But, you know, we knew what it was about.
No, I think that's right. I think that it was pretty obvious what it was about instantly. Yeah, Lee's lyrics sometimes need a bit of decoding. So
yeah,
there are a few things, yeah.
He'd be good on the old cryptic crosswords.
Yeah, he would be very good, yeah. So he's very good. Lee's got that real touch, I think, sometimes to write about, without sounding too deep about it, human drama. You know, he's very good at. He's very good at actually. You can hear people saying. You know, he's very good at actually. It's almost like they're speaking to you, and he's got a real skill for that. I mean, Love Struck. I always sort of say that Love Struck is lyrically one of the best openings, I think, to a Madness song. Yeah. That imagery that he's just drunk, and I mean, it's amazing. I think it's amazing, you know.
Absolutely. Well, from a serious.
Did you see what you did there?
Amazing.
It's so slick. It's so unbelievably slick.
You've been rehearsing this for hours, Bedford. Yeah. I can't say. You missed your intro. Like it was so linked up. Honestly, we're just like, oh, Chris, you have a favourite bass, and then bang, Bedford appears. It was like magic. So from a serious subject to a less serious subject, then. Ernie. A lot of people's favourite Madness song that's not single.
2 minutes 8 seconds long. That song, yeah, Premium Bonds, yeah. I mean, only Suggs would write a song about that, you know. Well, you know, and I did the music. Means electronic random number something, don't it? Does anyone know?
I mean, it's a bit before my time, but electronic random number integer.
I think, you know, he says the F word, but it's sort of like obscured. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, it is one for people of a certain age, that song. But I think 1,000 winners every week was their slogan on adverts, and
yeah.
So it's directly taken from that kind of what they were. But it's that thing of just about, you know, like the lottery, you know, it's just like trying to win, you know, aspiring to win some money, maybe.
Did you used to play the Premium Bonds, either of you?
I'll tell you what.
Well, it used to be a thing. Sorry, Chris. It used to be a thing when you were born, people would buy Premium Bonds for you, you know. So and you'd keep them and win nothing for years and years and years.
Well, I beg to differ because I've won 3 times this year, only like 25 quid. And I've got a few, you know, I've got about 8 grand's worth.
No.
That's probably more than I get from 8 grand in the bloody bank, isn't it? Like 0.25%.
That is the most Premium Bonds I've ever heard anyone having.
I used to have a lot more than that.
I think I was bought when I was born. They bought like, you know, £2.50 worth for me or something. So
yeah,
maybe that's why the return. Maybe that's why the return isn't so good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I suppose so. What 75 quid is? I don't know what percent it is, but it's more than you get in the bank.
Yeah.
In the chat function now, there's lots of people saying how much they've won on the Premium Bonds. Beverly Kinsella's 18-year-old son won £25 yesterday.
There you go.
Vicky Lee's husband has won £75 since September.
You're joking. I'm the only person in the country who hasn't won anything.
All your money in Premium Bonds, never mind Bitcoin. It's government. You know, you ain't going to lose it. And it's interest free.
No, I take the El Chapo thing with money. I just bury it. I just bury it in the back garden.
Yeah, it's better off under your bed, isn't it?
Well, probably, yeah.
Anyway, moving on.
Anyway, no, it's a good. Ernie's a great song, and it's one that you all think we should play that live occasionally.
It stands for Electronic Random Number Indicator Equipment. Several people told me.
I remember Clive Langer went, "Oh, I sort of really like the Kinks." I was like, "Is it?" And I was aware of the Kinks. I absolutely love the Kinks. I'm always buying these albums, with obscure Kinks songs, and they're always really good. I'll find one in a minute. But anyway, yeah, great days. Great days. Close Escape. Oh, sorry, you're going to play all the intros, Owen?
Well, I was going to, just to, you remember what it sounds like. Close Escape, Chris, you were saying?
Yeah, it's got I love that bit, the James Bondy bit, down, 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 down. I always, whenever I can, try and put a James Bondy thing in. And this is one where I'd done the music and we were all playing it, and Tomo. What happened is we'd go and do the music, me, Mark, Mike, and Woody. We'd work on tunes, and then Suggs and Tomo would come in and start listening to them, and that's how we used to do it. And Tomo went, "Oh, the bloke from, Nice Man George. This was him, and he's now ringing people up and, doing all them pervy phone calls." Anyway,
it's got a great rhythm, that song, and it's really, really good. It's fun. Yeah, it's kind of a bit unique, really, in that respect. I mean, Woody does brilliantly on it because it's a bit of a tongue twister musically. He's got to play that kind of really odd rhythm, but yeah, it's good. It's a good song. I mean, I think I will say, that without blowing my own trumpet a little bit. I mean, blowing our own trumpet a little bit. It's a really good record. I think it's a really up record, and a lot of the tunes the variation on the tunes is really, really good. I think.
So it's a sort of sequel to In the Middle of the Night. Is there any other sort of Madness songs you've ever had a temptation to revisit the sort of characters of and write about again?
I don't know. I mean, Mark and I don't really do lyrics much, so I don't know. Yeah, I have to pass on that.
I can't off the top of my head. I can't think of anything else that was a continuation of sort of another.
You could come back and do one about him, and he's like an internet flipping, pest.
Yeah.
Paul Rogers says Mr. Apples is surely part 3 of that trilogy.
Yeah. It could be.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah.
It's like Star Wars, but with sort of perverts.
With less merchandising.
Less merchandise. Well, you start making Nice Man George t-shirts, I reckon they would sell. Something to think about. Moving on then.
Oh yeah.
Not Home Today, track 5.
Bella's
doing the music here.
Yeah, good. Mike's harmonica again. Mike's had that chromatic harmonica, and he put it on this, and it sounded very good. And it's a true story, isn't it, Chris? I think.
Yeah, there's a kid who got accused of there's a load of kids. Somebody got killed, and he got put in prison for it, and people said he's innocent, and he came from Suggsy's area. So yeah, that's what it's about. So that's quite, again, a serious song, really, but it's good.
Did it piss you off that you, if you pardon my language, that you sort of didn't get enough credit for sort of serious songs you wrote? That off that album, most people who aren't Madness fans would know sort of the baggy trousers and all that, but not the darker stuff, for want of a better word.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at this, so on this side, there's a couple of serious ones. The others aren't like comedy. I mean, the next one's quite funny, although it's about a policeman who's all stressed up. So,
I think because people obviously remember the videos at the time.
Yeah.
And that's probably the intro to the band is probably through its videos. It was at the time. So you just hope that they would listen to the album and then like some of the other stuff as well. But there's always been those two you know, two ways of doing it, and yeah, I mean, it continues today. So
it's just this is slightly off topic because it's about Keep Moving, but just thinking about, because I think Prospects is one of the great underrated Madness songs, really, and just thinking about songs that need a sequel. Am I right in thinking that was about the sort of the Windrush generation?
Yeah. I mean, Suggs wrote that. I think may have been him and Chaz that wrote that. But yeah, that's a nice little song.
So if there's ever, you know,
it's about immigrants. Yeah.
So
no, it is. It's that's absolutely right. It is about the Windrush generation, and actually, probably, it could have been a single, maybe.
So maybe a subject worth revisiting it with everything that's sort of
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Chaz wrote it with him because he said the train ride to Tuesday, Scarlet Shades of Evening. Putting the kids' names in. And they go, no, we can't put Matthew in, you know. I'm like, well, I'm not really that bothered, you know. But it was quite a nice little touch.
I've never twigged that before, actually. That's really good.
Yeah.
I had a question someone just asked about. Absolutely, coming back 3 albums. Was it a sort of a quick recording process in terms of once, obviously?
I think it was, wasn't it, Mark? You know.
Yeah. I mean, I think my memory is about 4 weeks, which these days is really, really fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Blimey.
I think it would have been maybe, you know, well, 4 or 5. I mean, it would have been 3 weeks to put most things down, and then a week to mix it, or a week and a little bit to mix it, maybe.
And how long would that take these days?
Well, we're just a bit. We like to space things out a bit more these days.
4 months. No, I mean, who knows? You know, if you've got the stuff ready, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah, because I think at the time, and the way things were done was that we had everything ready. We literally had everything ready to go in. So there wasn't any. We've always been very good like that. There's not really much messing around in the studio. We normally have everything set and ready, and we go and record it. So you do the harder work in the rehearsal room, and then going into the recording studio, it's a case of laying it all down and getting good feel for it all.
In and out quite quickly. Okay. Well, Chris, you've hinted at number 6 already, but we'll give it a quick blast.
I tell you, you know, it's sort of like there's a few songs, not many, that I've kind of written with Lee, but then he's very generous, you know, so he sort of credited the band. But I'm sure like most of that I sort of wrote the music, but it's beside the by. But it is great, and I mean, it's horrendous for Suggs to try and get those lyrics in. You know, and I do remember doing that guitar thing, down, 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 down. And then I was panning. I'd learned, you know, you could pan things and the guitar goes down, 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 down. You know, it's a bit boring. I remember that. And at the end, it stops. And then I do guitar. And then everybody does a little bit. And that was from Roxy Music. Remake, remodel. At the end of that, they all do a little solo. Did you remember this? I'm
not sure if I did on that
one. Maybe not. Bass solos are crazy.
Well, I wouldn't recommend them.
Anyway, yeah, what do you remember about that, Mark?
About that track? Well, yeah, you're right. Actually, now you mention it, so we used to play it. Sometimes we'd set off at such a fast speed live when we played that Suggs, it just trying to fit all the words in was nigh on impossible.
Yeah, that auto cue would be going like mad.
Yeah, like scrolling.
And then. Oh yeah, go on and play the next one.
Well, we did have a question. Just you touched on the sort of the way you kind of split the songwriting credits.
Who? Someone just asked that. It's, you know, what we do is write a song, and half of it goes to the people that wrote it, and then the other half goes to everybody, you know, for their input, which is very fair. You know, a lot of people don't do it. Like, you know, Noel Gallagher doesn't do it, but you know, because he took all the time writing the songs, you know. But you know, I mean, Liam really brings a lot to the table, doesn't he? No.
No, it's a very, as Chris said, it's a very fair agreement that stood us in good stead down the years. And but I think other bands have actually used it as well. I think someone told me that Spandau Ballet actually used it at one point.
They did, and then Gary Kemp suddenly saw it, and he changed it back, and they took him to court. You know, and
that's right. Yeah,
it's a shame, you know, because I know those guys, you know, and they didn't win because, you know.
So do you think that's partly why you've sort of all stayed on such good terms 40 years on, that you've not had kind of the court battles and massive fallouts that other bands
Not
have
yet, you know, but, you know, I might get Barzo for Bed and Breakfast Man, and that's fun.
It's never too late to sue.
One of these days, just to see him in court, you know.
No, I think you're right. I think it has. I think it's been a really good thing. It's been a, you know, we are very democratic, and we do argue, but we do have a vote on things occasionally, and you know, so it's a fair way. I think it's a incredibly fair way of doing, you know, of handling songs, and it also means that your input, you know, it was done in the first place so that everyone would have a voice and everyone would put their input in. And that's been, as I said, that's held us in good stead down the years. So
I guess it was quite useful having 7 members, that you'd always have someone with a casting vote one way or another.
Well,
well, that's right. It would have been murder if there were 6 of us. It would have been absolutely terrible at the time, I'm sure.
Yeah. That was Paul Rogers' question about the songwriting split. I've been told by Paul Rogers.
I know he wants credit. I can see him at the bottom.
He wants credit. Next song, then. This is going to be an interesting one to talk about. Goes like this. Bit of Rolf Harris at the beginning. Where do we start with that?
That's some Scar song, isn't it? I tell you, that was literally, what was the studio we were in, Mark? Was it like Martin Rushent's one?
Yeah, or it was it still at Eden, or was it?
No, I think we were at.
Were we out in Reading? They were mixing it in Reading, weren't they? Somewhere.
Yeah. And like, honestly, we wrote it in the studio. And Carl was like, "I got this idea for a song," and it's that. And then he was going, you know, and we were all sort of just like playing along. And then he's going, "I want it to do this." And it's nuts, you know. I want it to go over there, you know, and it's hysterical. And it was fun, you know. And I like the solo I did. I was trying to do like Gene Vincent type solo. You know, the guy in Cliff Gallup, fantastic guitarist. I could go through all my favourite solos if he's there, if you want.
All right.
So I'm sorry to say, I'd forgotten about that song, and I didn't remember it. But I think because Chris is right, that I think we did it so quickly in the studio that possibly it was the one and only time I've ever played it, I would imagine. I don't think we've ever played it live, have we?
I think we have. No, I like it. It was really funny. And it sounded good, you know, it sounded pretty good.
I think we better add that Rockabilly was having a bit of a resurgence at that point, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we all liked it, you know. You know, Carl especially knew a lot about it, you know.
That's that sounds like a cue to play it live next time you get the
yeah, we ain't got Chaz though.
To right that historic wrong.
Yeah.
It's we won't read the comments on Solid Gone in the chat. Moving on to more solid territory then.
Yeah.
Which is probably much more universally
Yeah, take it or leave it. It's so I've got a feeling that it started off as something else.
Yeah, I think it wasn't an instrumental.
It was a B-side called The Business, I think. Well,
that was just a...
Or was that afterwards?
A sort of dub version, yeah, that was after.
I wondered if we had started it as some kind of...
Because I know there was one... No, that was the Lotus Eaters. We did a jingle for Martini. So I might be wrong there. But anyway, yeah, it's great song, this. I really like it. I remember, like, you know, I was doing Offbeat. And that's what, you know, when Clive Langer was a good mentor to me. You know, and I always thought it had to be really clean. And it's quite, you know, rough sounding, you know. Because Clive said it doesn't have to be, you know. And I thought, oh, you know. So, and I did some feedy back type stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great.
Hard bass line, isn't it, Mark?
Hard bass line, but good. But also one of, and again, a brilliant lyric from Lee, very human sort of lyric. And it's a good song. It's a really good song with a piano intro and, yeah, very atmospheric. It's great.
And of all the possible titles, of all the song titles you could have used for the film.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking something out.
What do you mean? How do you mean? What, that we chose it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously this was, again, before my time because I was born in 1992, but I think the album came out before the film came out, didn't it?
Yeah.
So the film was named for the song rather than the other way around.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind that? Was it, or did you just
call the film that?
Yeah.
I don't know really.
Probably a bit of convenience because maybe we had the song knocking around. Because the song's used at the very beginning of the film, isn't it? And Lee's walking down Parkway, which is fantastic.
The dub one, the business. Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. I can't remember why there was a conscious decision to name it that way, but maybe
the film. It's just like, it's supposed to be take it or leave it. The film, you know, take it or leave it, and most people left it. But, Shadow of Fear, flip me, you know, I can't. Go on then. Sorry.
Go on. Shadow of Fear.
Some of these songs, no, because I thought I better go and look at and yeah, it's like 1 minute 58 according to Wikipedia. It's pretty short, isn't it? It's 1 minute 58.
I'm all for it. I always say to Suggs, "Come on, Suggs, let's make this song shorter." You know, I think it's true. I think we should get back to 2 minutes 30 quite a lot. You know,
because there was that, you know, thing like the Ramones where we used to think, "God, the set is really short." We chuck 3 songs in it, and it's still the same.
It was still really short. Yeah, exactly.
Play really fast.
I think there's something to be said. I think we, you know, always thinking about those early tunes that we made. They were incredibly short. You know, some of them, just over 2 minutes. Some of them. Yeah,
because the law says it should be 3 minutes long. There's some reason, you know, like people, you know, that's how long they retain it for, or they don't get bored. But that is short. And I did this twangy guitar, and we just played this recently, and I couldn't remember. You know, I could just about remember it. But I just remembered when we did this album, I bought us, people were asking about guitars, a black Stratocaster. I bought it from Woody's brother, Nick. Yeah, and I used it a lot. And I used it on this album because I loved the old bending, the flipping notes thing. But yes, that song, there's Better's one coming out now. You can do that, Better's.
There we go. One of the all-time favourites.
It's got to finish at 6.
I think there's no prizes to tell you where what that was influenced by.
I'm not saying anything. Oh, damn.
Does anyone know what it was in? It's pretty obvious to all of us, I'm sure.
Jackson 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it's from the Jackson. It's from Jackson 5. I was listening to a lot of Jackson 5 records at the time.
Yeah, but it's got its own thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's got its own thing, and Mike's intro's great with the piano.
And it's about Ali Pali burning down.
Yeah, it's another good Suggs lyric, you know, about something quite unusual. Not unusual, but you know.
But it's funny it's funny that it's like when you're making an album, sometimes events that are happening at the time, actually, come to the forefront. It just goes straight onto the record,
And it was. I think that's probably one of the most popular Madness songs that was never released as a single. Generally, it took quite a long time for it to make its way into the live set again, but it's sort of making its way back now.
I think we played it at Ali Pali, didn't we? I'm sure we did.
Yeah.
Don't know what's so funny about
that. Chris, do you have to go at 6? Did you say? Should we?
No. It's just another time.
Okay, we'll pay you time and a half.
Pay him in premium bonds. Actually, no, he doesn't. He doesn't need them. He just doesn't need them.
We'll pay you in premium bonds if you like, Mark.
Yeah, you can top up my £2.50's worth.
We had a question just on the subject of why did. We had a question earlier on. Again.
Hold on, where you going now?
Where have I gone?
Yes. Yeah, you're back.
Oh, sorry, it's the internet. Why Absolutely was called Absolutely? Can you shed some light?
I'll tell you. I don't know if Bedford remembers. We had this tour manager called Tony Duffield, and he had all these sayings. And one thing you go absolutely. And I said, you've got to call it absolutely. And funny enough, this morning, he also used to say you and me both. Do you remember that, Bedford?
You and me both, yeah. I'm semi-fluent. That's what
Yeah.
he used to say as well.
But I did, it's a bit of an urban myth, but he went and worked for Yazoo after he worked for us, and they did an album called You and Me Both. And I was pretty sure it was because of him. But this morning, like a nerd, I went and looked it up, and it said it wasn't. It was because they were living apart. But it's only on Wikipedia, so I could go on Wikipedia and change it. Like Dominic Cummings did. Oops, sorry. I could go and change it, couldn't I, to my reality.
Also, I think, wasn't it also because it was absolutely, he was like handsome as well. It was like a bit like the Kilburns record. And I said, funny enough, Ian Jew was doing a bit of recording, and I think we were either in the same studio or I saw him, and I said to him, he said, what are you up to? I said, we're making another album. I said, I think it's going to be called Absolutely. And he went, oh, sweet, like that. I thought, okay, that's the name of the album. And he likes it. So, I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
But I do think, Tony Duff, and also it was like a bit like Handsome, which was the Kilburns record.
Yeah. What are we up to now? Oh, Overdone.
Overdone. You were never tempted to call it semi-fluent then, instead?
Semi-fluent, it should have been.
I mean, I just loved that guy, I loved him. He had a satin jacket and a perm. And he became a sort of tour manager. And we were going to France. And he said, it's all right, I'm semi-fluent. And we got there, and he just started talking to someone. And it's like Del Boy, Mange tu Rodney.
Because every French person he met, they just looked at him completely, kind of quizzically, completely confused by his terrible, terrible French. So, but we should do, Chris, what we should do, if we ever do this next time, is go through our tour managers, because there's quite
that'd be a long one. That'd be about
a long list of characters that we've had.
Yeah.
Well, we've got maybe next time we're running.
No,
out of time.
you don't. I mean, really. I mean, you need at least 7 or 8 hours for that, maybe more, longer.
We'll do it as a podcast episode. Overdone was next, then, Chris, as you said.
Yeah, I mean, I did the music, and I was trying to be like sort of cheeky type thing,
You're trying to be like what? Sorry.
Cheek, I really like them, and there's a bit sort of Jewish, because I remember Ian Jury, funny enough, talking about him. He went, I've heard that one before, because he thought we were copying his, style. Yeah, that's Tomo and I, is it not? Yeah, it's quite long, 3:45. Yeah, because I thought often songs don't come out exactly how you think they will. They didn't quite come out. I thought it would, but it's good. It's good. Bettis, what do you think, Bettis? Do you remember it?
Yeah, that was the song we woke up in Edinburgh and John Lennon had died.
Yeah.
And we had a gig that night in Edinburgh, and that's the song we did for him, I think, from my memory.
Why that one?
I don't know. Suggs just said. I think I remember because yeah, I'd heard. I woke up. Yeah, I was in a hotel room and turned the radio on, and they'd said that he'd been shot. Yeah, and died in New York. And for some reason, just Suggs before that song, Suggs said something about it.
Hold on, no, Betters. No, sorry. I think we were coming back from somewhere.
No, I remember. I'm pretty sure that we were definitely in Edinburgh that morning. We woke up and found out that he died, and then that night, Suggs, just before Overdone, he talked about it, and then we just went into it. So I don't know. I don't know exactly why it was that tune particularly, but
I was just looking the lyrics up.
Mark Bryant has pointed out that John Lennon actually name-checked you in one of his last ever interviews.
He did, yeah. He said that he liked us. Didn't say much more than that. I like these new bands, you know. So sorry, yeah.
Still must have been quite a sort of accolade though, to kind of be on his radar.
Yeah, very much so.
Crack on.
Crack on, son.
Another of the all-time great Madness intros. I meant that, but In the Rain.
Yeah, I mean, we did talk about this earlier, didn't we? We, I can't really remember like when it was recorded and that,
This was definitely an in-between tune, I think. In between One Step Beyond and Absolutely, I think. And it's about New York, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm sure it's this. That Suggs had a bit of a cold when he sung it. I think it was this. I'm probably wrong, aren't I? But I just, incidentally, Fred from the French MIS, he said the cover art of this album, we decided, we wanted to be outside the tube station. We're in old Crombie's, We went to Camden Town and it wasn't quite right, the angle. So we did it in Chalk Farm. But that's why, Fred. There was no other titles before it.
There's a load of really good feedback in the chat. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see it, but everyone's loving the kind of the nuggets of wisdom that are coming out about each song. So keep them coming, basically. 2 songs left, and we touched on this one again earlier as well. Again, one of the all-time great underrated Madness songs. My internet's slow, but you know what's coming. Bear with me.
Oh yeah.
So you said this was originally written at the time of sort of One Step Beyond album?
No, I think it wasn't In the Rain, Mark. Maybe they both were.
Maybe they both were. I know that you said when we were going through stuff for the book, I found a set list with you said on it, a very early set list. So it was obviously written, quite early on. And I just got some memory that we changed the rhythm of it.
I think so. And it's quite hard. The chords, ding, 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 ding. It's quite a hard one, that.
They're kind of not obvious, the middle bits.
Yeah, so can't say much about that. I don't. It's Fersen Barson. This is on Wikipedia, of course. And then,
Sorry. Wikipedia taking Barzo's songwriting credits off all of his songs. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I can't remember too much about it. I can't remember too much of where it came from or
this song. Yeah, I think it's kind of like hanging around, wasn't it? You know. And then, actually, I mean, talking to Wikipedia, my son, Frankie, who's quite a character, we found out on Wikipedia, you know, it's got Chris Foreman lives in Brighton with his wife, Melissa, and his son, Frankie Hezbollah Abdul Foreman. I mean, that kid, you got to laugh at the kid, haven't you?
Did he change it? Do you think he changed it?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a nugget of information for you.
Sorry, it's like,
Chrissy Boy's son's middle name is Hezbollah.
Well, it is now. I said, you know, we can get it changed if you want.
Yeah.
Frankie Hezbollah James Christ Foreman.
James Christ.
Yeah. Frankie Hezbollah James Christ Foreman. Good old Frankie. So, Las Palmas 7.
Las Palmas 7.
Yeah, Dave Robinson. You got to have another instrumental. You know, he's like, we got to have another instrumental. And so Mike got his songbook. I won't say what it was, will we, Mark? And Mike, Woody, and Mark spent hours, you know, working it out. And I said to Mike, look, Mike, they've done as much on this as you have. So Mark and Woody got credit.
Yeah, I don't know if we're giving too much away about the chords. The chord sequences, let's put it this way, it's from an old show tune. And you probably wouldn't, obviously, when you heard that show tune, you wouldn't have known that it actually became Las Palmas 7. But it's actually one of the few songs that we did spend a lot of time in the studio working on, as opposed to, because Dave Robinson said really late in the day, we need another instrumental. So we literally on demand had to go and
do
that. And then we came out with that. And then we had the idea of it being a band, you know, another band. And
well, Chaz did that Tommy McGloin's thing.
It was his uncle. Yeah.
But I know, like, you know, it's just crazy, isn't it? It got loads of airplay on Radio 4 and things like that, you know, and sort of crossed right over. And then the video, we were like, oh, you know, what we're going to do? And we just filmed ourselves in a cafe and we did that cut and paste things, which I remember I went into the editing and I said, I want more cuts than Friday the 13th. Because it speeds up at the end, you know, and stuff like the tomato sauce bottle turns into a space. It was great. It was ahead of its time. We had a really great guy, I think he's called Phil, that used to do videos, used to edit the videos. And that kind of technique got used in loads of adverts, you know, after.
I have a feeling there's a bit of a Las Palmas 7 video which actually shows the Ernie machine as well. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're right, yeah.
Right, yeah, because we were all saying things to put in it as well. You know, like George Best's in it, I think. People were suggesting stuff to put in this kind of chop-up thing. About that. Because, you know, I mean, Tom I wanted us to be having a banquet, which I said it's a bit, you know, what's the idea of that? But of course, you know, he's straight on the table.
Wasn't that a time-saving thing, though, doing a lot of that compilation stuff of all our sort of things, all different bits of film? Because was it that we didn't have very much time to make the video, maybe?
No, I think we did, Mark. Although, yeah, I mean, I remember we went to Kenwood, didn't we? And did the thing with the food. And then we were walking around on the Hampstead Heath dressed as cowboys. And then the other bit was in a cafe near Stiff, wasn't it?
Yeah, Westbourne Park. Westbourne Park it was.
We could have done like a performance. Usually, you know, you do a performance to cover yourself. You do yourself playing a song. And once you got that, at least you got that. But we didn't do that. But I think it was the idea to do that cut and paste thing, you know. Which in those days it was real film. You know, so someone was cutting film. Now you do it in 10 minutes on that guy was talented. Very talented.
We've had a question from Adam Fowler. How come you don't do instrumentals on the albums anymore? sort of these days?
Because someone always jumps in and writes some lyrics, you know, because in fact, Night Boat to Cairo was an instrumental. Because again, Robbo was like, no, and Suggs thought, well, you know, it's quite good, this lyric writing thing. And Suggs wrote lyrics. You know, sometimes Mike goes, oh, it's a floating instrument. You know, he gets the and I'm going, Mike, it's one of our most beloved songs, you know. And I think Mike had called it Night Boat to Cairo, actually. Yeah. Just like I called it.
It's a good question. It's a good question.
I
mean, I suppose Norton Folgate, you might say, has a little bit of instrumental to it.
Yeah.
I mean, that overture and stuff. But then that's something completely different, maybe.
It's quite hard to write an instrumental that keeps people's attention. Do try, you know.
Paul Weller turns up and ruins it for you.
Yeah.
Puts his lyrics all over it.
I've got these lyrics, yeah.
Oh, Weller. Hey, try and do a song and along he comes.
You try and do a song and you give his email away or whatever you gave away.
I was playing it on here and then somebody, Shannon, thank you, said, you know, his phone number's there.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I don't think it was. I tell him to change his phone number, you know. Sure none of these good people are going to bug him. Oh, Gary Skerfield just texted me, look, I was at Ingliston, it was mental. FKN mental. What's FKN mean? I was trying to do something. But
I'm not sure. What were you trying to do?
I was trying to give them a bit of Showtime bellies because that's what they want. But I was trying to find my Showtime flipping thingies.
So is that the album then?
Yeah, that's the album. That's
the album. 14 tracks, yeah.
14.
It's a good. I mean, I think it's one of my favourite Madness albums.
Yeah. So, I mean,
because it is all killer, no filler, isn't it? It really is. It's just like,
all thriller, no filler.
All thriller, everything. It's got everything.
It seems to be. I'm not quite sure if that's directly related or. I think I missed the start of that, but I think someone was having Los Palmas 7 played at their funeral, possibly. But a nice way to go.
Okay.
I'm afraid, everyone. I'm really sorry if we had questions from you that we didn't get around to. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this again one day in the not too distant future. So if there's any, I say that, I don't know how Chris and Mark feel about that idea, but
sorry.
But apologies, or if we've missed. But if you have enjoyed the absolutely track by track, there is a One Step Beyond listening party happening, isn't there, Chris?
I can't divulge that.
Tim Burgess tweeted it about 2 hours ago, so I think you're.
He still can't divulge it.
No, I really like him, and I like what he's doing, and I follow him on Twitter, and he put a tweet. And then last night he sent me a message, and he said, "Do you want to do an album?" So I said, "Yeah, all right." Hey, something to do, innit? I don't have to talk to anyone. I mean, is anyone? Because I know what he does. He goes through it track by track, but is it all entirely tweeting, or you have to listen to it too?
I think the idea is that you listen along at home and then read everyone's tweets as they sort of say them. So it's they're tweeting at the same time that the song comes on.
All right, we'll see what happens there.
And Mark, are you going to be involved in that as well?
They might. Yeah. Chris might rope me in, to tweet away a bit, yeah.
And he's done ways quick, with their fingers. I might ask Pazzo, but I don't know.
I'm not that quick. I only go like this.
Anyway, I've got to go.
Kind of one finger.
I've got to go back to work. Look.
What, as a waiter?
It's flipping out. Look, it's one of my stage ones, and it's too small.
Oh.
Oh, it's a Homburg Chrissy Boy.
Like it's still got your name stitched into it.
Anyway, look, it's really lovely to see. So I can recognise quite a few familiar faces here.
When you tell those,
I can and see, hello to Steve, bass player Steve. I can see that. How you doing? 4 of those fingers, 4 of those strings. Don't confuse me with any more. But no, it's lovely to see everyone. I hope everyone's been okay during this weird lockdown period. It's been really, really strange, the whole thing. But and strange that we're not on the road actually as well.
Very good.
Thanks for doing this.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone, so they can all say thank you. And
Thank you so much, Thomas. Nice to see everybody.
Loud round of applause.
Thanks a lot.
At least it's that award I won. You know,
Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Mark.
See you later. Cheers now.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thanks. Cheers, everyone.
That's the award I nicked from the BBC.
That's your stolen award. There we go.
I'm not showing you what it says.
People muted Chris.
Good night. Very good good. night.
Bye.
See you in the future, if not before. Thank you, Chris and Mark. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us.
Thanks, Owen.
Good job. Well done, John. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well done. Keep buying our records and stuff, you know.
Buy more merchandise.
All right, Rogers, I can't hear you. You're muted. Thank God.
Wi-Fi.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Chris, thank you so much, man. Take care.
He's driving in his car here. Oh, Scuff, you nutter.
Don't end House of Fun. Keep it going.
Thank you. Yeah, no, yeah.
Alec, you know Alec.
Why hasn't everyone gone? Bye, Lynn. Love to see